Hello and welcome. I am Coach Castle, a certified biomechanics expert, nutritionist, and efficiency coach. Subscribe to this channel to learn the most efficient ways to maximize your muscle growth and recovery, enhance your body, and advance your mind, all using the latest science. Welcome to Castle's Corner. Hello and welcome to Castle's Corner. I am Coach Castle, and I'm back again with my dear friend Cathy.
Hello.
And today we have a little podcast we put together because we just, in case you're following, just did her monthly goals, and you saw a little snippet of her workout, the past video. I'll include a tag up top. And following that, we're going to discuss goal setting, not so much her personal goals, but how they've helped her in her life, why they're so necessary, and even a little bit why people don't do them. So why don't you...
I never set goals before I met you.
Oh, so why don't you start at the beginning? Start there.
There weren't any goals. My little goals in my own head, they never lasted long. Maybe a couple days, maybe a week. That was the longest.
What's an example?
My examples were not eating sugar for 3 days, not drinking coffee, making sure I take a walk for 5 minutes. But it only lasted a couple days until I met you. And then I started getting serious about my goals.
What changed?
Because, well, I realized that they work if you work them.
Yeah. Well, like anything, I tell people everything works as long as you do it consistently and correctly. Yeah. It does work.
Well, one of my big goals coming up is 17th Street Causeway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big goal, but I have to start low.
Mm-hmm.
Start on how am I going to get up it
mm-hmm.
with my lungs. So I have to do breathing exercises. How am I going to get up it with my legs? I have to start doing incline training.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing is breathing. I know I'm strong enough to do it.
Yeah, your leg muscles, there's no issue with your actual musculature. That's fine. The issue
Except for they really hurt today.
Well,
thank you.
Well, the issue is that you go into oxygen depth too quickly and the,
Yes.
the CO2 takes
Yes.
over, basically.
Very fast,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So you have to train yourself not to get the anxiety response, not to have the panic response. You have to train yourself to keep your heart rate slow. You have to do very specific Wim Hof breathing. You have to expand your lungs. You have to do breath holds to increase.
My breath holds are very important.
Yep, that increases your ability to utilize oxygen efficiently as well as CO2, which is just as important as oxygen in the body, by the way.
Yes.
You know that. I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going, though.
Well, I just want to show you that I started my new book.
Excellent.
For goals. So it started today, actually. But I write down my goals, and then I break them down into smaller pieces.
Who'd you learn that from? Who's clever fellow did you learn that from?
From you. Like my squats, I'm going to start doing
Very
my
nice.
squats. So
well, why
week
don't you tell them the progression with the squats, because that's easy to tell.
Oh, the squats is real easy. You know, when I first started, I'm like, do 10 squats. What are you kidding? That'll kill me. That'll kill my legs. That'll kill my lungs.
Well, take it back a step, but just because some people don't follow along. So in the beginning, to increase mobility, to increase strength, flexibility, to burn extra calories, I had her chain together a habit. The habit was every time she went to the bathroom and then she washed her hands, she would then do 10 squats. Now, you doing that, you'd get, 50 squats a day, 60 squats a day?
At least 50, usually about 70.
So anyways, that was needed just for a little bit of extra calorie burn and some other stuff in the beginning. We're returning to it now just to help with this goal.
Because I'm going a bigger goal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I'm starting with 15 every time I go to the bathroom. It's funny because my employees would say, why do you have that little piece of paper? And I'd write down how many times this is my second time, third time. And, why do you have that little piece of paper over here? And I say, I'm doing squats in the bathroom. They're like, you're kidding me.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least it's consistent. I know I can go back to it. So I'm starting with 15 for a week. Then it'll be 20 for a week. Then 25 for a week. And I'll go at least 5 times a day while I'm working, and then at home too.
Mm-hmm. So the progression now is you're going to start with the 15,
Yep.
and how many days or weeks will you be doing 15 every day?
At least 7 days.
So at least 1 week you'll be doing 15.
Yeah.
And then you're going to let me know how you're feeling.
Right.
And the next week, if you're feeling up for it, we're going to.
I'll be fine.
Well, we don't know yet. We're just going to start. We're going to start adding some stuff. We're going to see how you react.
Right. Then the 20 every time. That might get a little bit tougher.
Get that
but my legs are strong.
For at least 2 weeks, we'll be doing that. Probably maybe 3 weeks to 20.
Right.
And then the final week, we're either going to take off or we're going to bump you up to 25 each time.
Right.
And for those of you who are any good at math, or perhaps you're bad at math, I'll help you. That's something like an extra 200. 250 squats a day if you bump it up to that much.
Right.
Think how many calories that is burning. That 250 squats a day, body weight squats, performed slowly. By the way, the only way to perform them is rapidly up and then slowly down for 4 seconds. Doing 250 of those spaced out throughout the day is far more effective than 2 hours of walking cardio. Just so you all know. And you're building and developing your muscles in a very healthy and natural way. Body weight squats performed slowly are the only forms of squats I really approve of, except variant of a cable squat I also approve of. You know about that one.
Yeah.
But
those are fun.
in regards to the goal setting, a big problem people have just getting a goal set is they make the goal too big.
Right.
So it's this big scary monster. Let's use your 5K as an example because a lot of people know that one. So you have COPD. And you could barely walk or jog, and
Right.
I think, pretty sure it was my idea because I'm a monster.
Jogging, running is absolutely not even heard of in my book.
And because I'm such a monster, I think I said let's do a 5K because it sounds fun.
Yeah.
And you were immediately overwhelmed, terrified, so on and so
But
forth.
I'm the one who had the nerve to go and sign up. I said, you know what? I signed up.
Absolutely.
This is it. There's no turning back. I must show up.
And from that day forward, you had a goal. It was set in stone. There was a date. You were committed. And then every time you came here it was 3.5 months, I believe.
It was
How long
more
was the
like
training for
8
that?
months that we
Well, no,
really
just
trained for
with the
it.
5K though. Well, if you
Yeah.
want to get technical, yeah, I guess. But we
Because
primarily.
you would time me on my quarter miles.
But we would primarily focus towards the race and actually getting your consistency, specifically your breathing patterns ingrained, so on and so forth. But something that would seem almost impossible to somebody with COPD can very easily be attained with training, consistency, and the right knowledge. I mean, you didn't even need me for that. You just needed the knowledge and the drive for the consistency, you know?
Well, if you remember correctly, you got sick at the end of December.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I had to do training on my own.
Yep, yeah, I was very sick for 2 weeks. You had to keep pushing through that without
And I
me.
had to keep going. Otherwise, I would have lost all of my,
You wouldn't have lost it, but you got a setback for sure.
I would have definitely had a setback.
Big setback, yeah. But you kept it going, which is exactly what you're supposed to do and exactly what anybody who is, relentless does. So,
Yeah, I didn't have anyone yelling at me, but...
well, you don't need that. You can yell at yourself.
Still,
So, but moving forward with the goals, I guess. So you've seen over time what happens when you set a big goal and then you break it down month by month, week by week, day by day, even minute by minute if need be, if you need to break it down to 5
yes,
minutes a
If
day.
you break it down, you more than likely are going to stick to it.
Oh, absolutely.
So my other goal is push-ups, which I've never really done lots of and consistently. So we're starting with 2 a day, 10 times a day.
And to be clear about this, you're doing the biomechanically correct push-ups for your,
Real push-ups.
for real push-ups for your front deltoids. You're
Not
not.
baby ones on my knees.
Yeah, you're not doing baby push-ups on your knees. You're not doing some silly variant that doesn't involve your muscles
Right.
correctly. You're doing the biomechanically correct push-ups,
Real ones.
which, by the way, are much, much harder, everyone, because you're using your levers efficiently. She could probably bang out 20 regular push-ups, but those are inefficient. I make her do the correct ones.
The correct ones, I'm up to 3, so we went to only 2, 10 times a day.
And so keep up. She'll be doing explosive hand clap push-ups. She'll be doing push-up tricks. She'll be doing, I don't want to spoil the fun, but you have a whole bunch of stuff coming up. And as always, Cathy will be motivating you and educating you as to how she's doing it with the progression.
Shouldn't take too long.
Oh, shouldn't be too
I
bad.
think I have me down doing 5 of them by week 3.
Yep. That should vary. Well, I would think 6 by then.
5.
6 or 7
10
actually.
times a day.
We gotta get that up there. It should be 6 or 7 by then. So so we're talking about your goals again. We'll go back to the first one. That was the 17th Street Bridge.
Yes.
To the best of my knowledge, it's somewhere between a quarter mile and a half mile.
Yeah.
Obviously, half of it is entirely uphill, and then half of it is
Yes,
entirely
yeah.
downhill. It's quite large, actually.
Then I'm going to call an Uber on the other side to get back.
No, you're not. No.
And we're not doing it at night because I don't want to like fall off the bridge.
No, we'll do it at noon, so it's nice and warm.
Oh, thanks. More like 6 o'clock.
Well, I think probably somewhere around 7, I would think.
Before the time changes.
Yeah, 7 is when the sun's going down. It'll be a beautiful view for us as we're going
Yeah,
over
I don't want
anyways.
to fall in the intercoastal in the dark.
I know, it'd be fine.
Even though I can swim.
The sharks will find you.
There's no sharks in the intercoastal.
You don't know.
They're not in the intercoastal.
Maybe not. You never know. But I'm sorry, digressing again. Back to goal setting. So what was your final one?
My other one is losing the fat off my torso. I want it leaner.
Okay, now before I dissect that, let's just address
That's calories.
it's calories and it's full body. I mean, let me restate that. There's no such thing as removing and spot reducing from there. That doesn't exist. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't exist. You cannot spot reduce fat. It is a whole body, full body process. So when you lose the fat on your abdominals, you will also be losing it from your arms and your legs, from around your organs. You'll even have fat inside of your brain. It's a full body process. The body doesn't care where it takes it from. It takes it slowly over time from everywhere.
But after a year and a half, people don't understand
No.
that it's very hard to go from 1,800 calories a day, and down to 15.
Yeah. They don't get it. Well, they don't even understand counting.
Well, it's very hard for me because I'm very active. I'm moving all the time. I get up at 3:30 in the morning. I get home usually around 4:30. I come here for an hour and a half. And the other times, I want to go home and just veg out and watch TV.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's true, and I mean that's how. Yeah, that's
but the
life.
deficit in calories, I've tried it before.
And it gets so. Why don't we talk about just briefly, because I want to wrap this up. But briefly, what's a few strategies that we're talking about to make it easier? Because there's all kinds of ways to make dieting easier. So what are we doing for you to make it easier?
The strategies for me is going to be cutting out some fat and carbs, like in the morning.
What else?
No more toast, no more butter.
Oh, keep it simple. What else?
Tracking my food.
Tracking your food. What else? There's a big part that you're missing here. This is a huge part that we talked about. I don't know why you're missing this. It's upsetting.
Why am I missing something?
Fasting, dear. You're increasing.
Oh, the fasting.
Yes, that's very important.
I'm intimidated by that because
you shouldn't be though.
I do like eating, and you said, "Oh, well, we'll go. How long can you go without eating in the morning?" Well, I'm eating meal 1 by 6.
Well, what time do you wake up though?
3:30.
Okay, so that's fine. No problem with that. That's fine.
6 o'clock is usually,
Well, we should just briefly talk about the fasting because again, people get the very mistaken ideas about fasting. I'll address that real quick and then we'll wrap it up. So, everyone, very briefly in regards to fasting, it doesn't matter whether it's prolonged fasting, intermittent fasting, whatever. The benefits are very misunderstood. Fasting is not a lifestyle. It is not a healthy lifestyle. It should not be done as a healthy lifestyle. Period. End of story. The science is in on it. However, fasting is a wonderful tool to make your metabolism more flexible. Now, what that means is if you go for a little bit of time without food, say somewhere between 14 to 18 hours without food, even as low as 12, depending on how you're organizing your life, your body essentially starts pulling from fat, especially if you have fat in your diet because it gets used to using fat as an energy source. If you're fasting, your body is more readily able to do that because it's now used to using that fat for energy. So if you don't have food for a little bit of time, no problem, your body pulls from the fat stores. If you're trying to diet with a more flexible metabolism, your body is much more likely to pull from the fat stores. I mean, that's a very oversimplified explanation of it, but that's kind of how it works. So we're using fasting as a tool, but again, it's not a scary thing. Your rule for fasting is very simple. Just before you go to bed, just try not to have a big meal, have a normal sized meal, whatever time your last meal is, and then just do not eat until you feel the need to eat first thing in the morning. For you, that happens to be around 6.
Right.
That's not a big deal, and that's all we're doing. Now, the reason we're doing that is for the shrinking of the stomach as well, by the way, as well as the metabolizing, let's call it conditioning. So just in summary, guys. So just want to wrap this up, keep this one short today. Thank you all very much. If you find the content helpful, of course, just remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Of course, cheer Cathy on. She does always need it, and she helps so much. She inspires everybody with what she does. She works so hard, guys. Give her a thumbs up. Give her a like, comment.
I will
again.
not fail.
She won't fail because I'll be there pushing behind her. You're not allowed to fail. And if you fail, you just get up and try again. It's not a big
That's right.
deal.
Go back to it.
There's no such thing as failing.
That's
Really,
true.
I mean, you
It's
fail.
my own goals.
Either you fail and you get up, you try again, or you quit. So, you're not a quitter.
Obviously not.
I'm a failure. I fail on a daily basis. There's nothing wrong with that, but I keep getting up and trying again. That's all.
Yes.
That's how you learn.
You keep pushing me to keep going.
Push your limits,
So.
dear. And you all too. Push your damn limits, okay? Everybody.
You're worth it.
You are. All right. Have a great day, everyone.